All right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. So a lot of people logged in already and they're still logging in, but you know what? We're going to stay on time. So just want to welcome everybody to today's Social Jack Flash class, our top 5 Instagram power moves to build your brand. Now, the crazy thing is we have more than 5 because we always over deliver. So make sure you take plenty of notes, and yes, we'll give you access to the recording, and then we'll give you access to the slides. So those of you that don't know us, I'm Dean DeLisle, founder and CEO of Forward Progress and the creator of Social Jack. And those of you that want to build your influence, that means you want to be thought leaders, you want people in your industry to know who you are, you want to get found first, and you want to be known. That's what we do for a living. So we help those people get on the map, on the chart, all that cool stuff. And we have an entire academy. We hold classes, we do training, we come out to locations. We travel all over the world. We've trained and coached over 120,000. And then Monica's team, she actually leads an entire influencer development team that actually helps to build your influence. Yes, they do interviews and they do profiles and they build out campaigns and do all that fun stuff. Monica, say hey.
Hey.
All right. And you're a world traveler. You've been to 16 countries.
I have indeed.
Yeah, so say hello in your favorite foreign language.
Cześć, which is in Polish. I'm Polish, so it's easy.
There you go. Have you been to Poland?
I have. I used to go there pretty often, every summer since like high school. So I've been there about like 30 times or more.
Right. And what's cool about you is that you know about fashion and branding, and then we do a lot of B2B, which is business to business. And so in the Instagram world, we're seeing a lot of crossover. And what I like about what you and the team do that I think is very different, we're going to talk about some of that in Instagram, or about Instagram, is how much color that you add and fashion that you add to business people. I think that is super cool. So you put the fashion in business. How about that? That's your tagline.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to use
There you
that.
go.
Thank you,
You can
Dean.
put it in your LinkedIn profile. There you go. All right, and then Jackson, who's the production manager here, he makes all the lights blink and the things go, and is not responsible if somebody kicks out the plug on the internet. That's Joe Carnes. But if you need anything produced, video, digital, graphic design, he and his team do that. And along with me, he's also a 3rd degree black belt. I forgot to mention that. And he's a Chicago improviser at Second City. So Jackson, say hey.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, there you go. And those of you that are local, Jackson has a show featuring at Second City Friday night, this Friday and next Friday. So if you want that, just direct message him in the message box. So there you go. He is more than happy to give you tickets or have you buy tickets, one of the two.
Yeah, I have no power in giving people tickets. I apologize in advance.
Right.
But,
we'll
definitely get you good seats.
Yeah, we'll get you a cocktail in the lounge. That's what we'll do. So
that's what we'll do.
All right, those of you who don't know us, if you haven't gone to Social Jack, make sure you go to Social Jack and download the new ebook on there. It's our influencer survival guide. So basically, you can go to Social Jack, go to member login, and if you're not a member, you can still click member login. Here's a secret, and you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll get all kinds of classes and interviews and cool things and tools to download. And when we come back from a conference, we have all these cool worksheets for you. So make sure you take advantage of that. And then also at the bottom, you can download the ebook, the 9 things you need before you log in, your business influencer survival guide. So make sure that you download that, and it's got 9 easy to remember things, and we'll cover a couple of those here. If you want to see other Flash classes that are being run, just go to socialjackflash.com and you'll be able to register for things just like this. All right, to engage with us. So we have people with us from all over the world. So we'd like to hear from you. And what we do is reward people for engagement, just like Instagram does, just like Twitter does. So we want you to type in into the questions area, where are you checking in from today? What part of the world, this planet or other planets, are you checking in from today? So type that into the questions area. And the more you engage, the more you have a chance to win those Starbucks gift cards. So ready, set, go. We have, Madison, Wisconsin, there you go. Let's Iowa. Hotlanta, 98 today. Chicago, we have, let's see, we have Mexico, welcome. Canada, we have Milwaukee, Central Pennsylvania. I love Pennsylvania. Mount Olive, New Jersey. I love Jersey too. Actually, Jackson and I are heading to SMSS there in a few weeks. So we have California with us. So welcome everybody who's joined us today. And remember, keep the questions tab open, and we have our coaches standing by, and we'll stick with you as long as we can to answer as many questions as we can. Those of you that haven't gone on Amazon, just type in my name if you want access to the new book. But a lot of the things, oh, and welcome, Austin, Texas. And then if you want a copy of this, just go to Amazon. We don't sell them directly, but Amazon loves selling things, as everybody knows. So just go on there, type my name. It's the only book, but it's about being first. It's about getting found and being at the top of your game. And we're going to cover some things in that today. Our commitment to you is to provide you and your organization with the best opportunity to be found, be known, and be first as an influencer in your network and industry, using the most relevant digital tools, social media, and human relationships available. Not bots, not fake followers, but humans. Very important for this, especially this topic today. So in Instagram, right, so we just want to know, where does everybody think that they stand? So if you are, let's just do this. I just want to see if everybody feels like they have their story down. Let's see. So in terms of, who you are and is your story ready for prime time? This is an anonymous poll. Just click on the blue box. Do you feel like your story is ready for prime time, whether it's on Instagram or anywhere on the internet? So just give us a yes, a no, not sure. Good. So 75% no, 80% no, 22% yes. Good. So this is normal. So the 80-20 rule, and actually it's bouncing around a little bit. People are going yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So we'll give you some tips here. And so thanks everybody for chiming in on that. Looks like 70% of you chimed in and voted. Good. And this is all about leaning in to be an influencer, because whatever you're putting on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, it doesn't matter. You're a business influencer. You're somebody that is impacting a decision, right? And Edith just chimed in and said, finally registered for Instagram account after all these years. So congratulations to Edith for stepping into it. So the idea is to lean in on your brand, to own your brand. In fact, we had Trav on yesterday on the Influence Factory, where literally, if you go to myinfluencefactory.com, you can subscribe to listen to the live programs or go to a whole bunch of other platforms to download the Influence Factory. But yesterday's interview, Travis, who's been on, he's taken brands like crazy. What was it, Monica? He was on MTV, he was on CNBC, The Prophet, and all those other shows, and really wowed us with a lot of things. But one of the big takeaways is he said to own your brand. So when we talk about really owning your brand and your story, that means that across the board, across the internet, when you Google your name, who do you find? Do you find that consistent story, or is it just on one platform and is it locked down? Because when people go to follow you or connect to you, they look at your profile, even on Instagram, but they also look outside of Instagram. So make sure you look at that stuff. Now, we have a proven influencer development program. So let's take you through some of the steps for you to be successful on Instagram, and you can apply this to other platforms. Now, Monica, when you guys go and set a plan, here's a sample plan here up on the screen. And we talk about, and I like how you say Instagram engagement plan. Why do you say that?
Well, that's the definition of, social media. That's the point of it, engaging with your followers, your audience.
Right. And that's what I love about when you and Emily and the whole crew do this is you really help define, the objectives, like why are we doing this? What features are going to help us get to those goals, and what themes and targets do we need to pay attention to? And that's what we're going to run through today, just so that you can see how this works. And remember, if you do need assistance, just let us know and we'll be glad to help you along the way. So first and foremost, now, there's many goals. When we get people coming in to work with us, a lot of times look at these goals for yourself. So are you just simply wanting followers and engagement? Like Monica said, that's the key, but there might be some bigger things. Maybe you just want to express yourself. You just have a hunger to be known, right? So your personal brand getting out there. Maybe you have a voice and you want to be heard. Some of you are mandated, just like we just showed the company Instagram account on the prior page. You want to humanize the brand. Some of you just want to create a new kind of energy or buzz or get some recognition. Sometimes it's for a cause. And of course, at the end of the day, you want to monetize somewhere. A lot of you, even if it's for a cause, you want to raise donations and monetize. So I'm going to put up a polling question here, and you can click on as many of these as you want. But what is it for you? Is it to develop really thought leadership, to be known? Is it followers and engagement to really kick things up? And you can click on multiple things here. Are you in charge of a brand to humanize your brand? Do you want to really get a cause going out there? And it's funny, 100% of the people, Monica, so far said monetize. They want they want the money. Transfer it directly into my PayPal or whatever.
Seriously.
Yeah, I saw Stripe being used on Instagram. I haven't seen a lot of that, but Stripe being used on Instagram. What monetary mechanisms do you see out there besides like PayPal, Stripe? What are other ones that people are?
Venmo.
Oh, Venmo, right?
Venmo you have, and then I mean, for the most part, all the banking companies out there have their own methods as well.
Yeah, all the merchant accounts. So there you have it. All right. So with 60% of you, so I'm going to ask, where's the other 40%? Are you playing with this? Are you in this game? Because you should have goals, right? So you really need to claim this for yourself, and we're here for you. So we want you to show up with us in this. So really be hungry for not just the knowledge, but to take action and let yourself know what you're going for. Okay, so this is a commitment for you to yourself, not just for us. All right, you're going to hear us talk this way because we're coaches and we want your success. We care about you. All right, so what is your niche? So we see all these niches up here, and Jackson, you have the comedy thing going, and Monica, you have the fashion thing in the past, and a lot of times we have folks that are in business. So type in type into the questions area, what's the thing that most resonates with you? Like, do you have a category or a niche that you're really hungry to capture? And Monica, I think this is the big thing that a lot of people miss. You and I had this conversation. I'm even sorting this out for myself. My personal Instagram is really about me and who I am, but I'm not really claiming myself in a certain niche other than influencer development, but I want people to really get to know who I am. So I think a lot of people, what happens is they're like exactly where I am. And I know we do this for our clients really good. We have them dial it down to a niche and really take it to that next level. But I think that's where people miss the boat. You agree? Like they start scattering a little bit?
Absolutely, and I think it's important to create a social map, which we do for all of our accounts, and put together an intake to really just narrow down what that niche is and then grow from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree as well. Just the fact that when people spread way too wide, it tends to be kind of a turnoff from me following them. Like, because if I follow them for one thing and then I see a bunch of other things and they only post once a month on the one thing that I want or that I'm looking for, then it kind of seems like I'm not getting out of it what I want. So there's no reason for me to follow them. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, that's an excellent point because there's a lot of options. I mean, what is it? I mean, there's like what 500 million people or something like that on Instagram.
I think they're in
There's
the billions now.
Yeah, they're
Are
in the
they? Oh my
billions.
gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so that's a little overwhelming. So it's almost like walking through New York City, Monica, and it's like, who are you going to talk to? It's like you have a
Probably
lot of,
no one as a New Yorker. You just
yeah,
keep
right, exactly. We
walking.
won't talk to anybody. And I think this is the big missing piece here is that people need to pay attention to their digital footprint. Now, some of you know I started in the reputation management piece. And so what we would look is we would actually go 10 pages deep. Now, most people won't. The average person that's really checking you out is going to stay on the platform that you're on and maybe look at the first page, but just for your own safety, go 3 pages deep. And we say, look at this on a regular basis. You never know what's going to pop up. And what's interesting is you never know somebody with a similar name who's going to pop up because we found another social jack company claiming to be social jack, claiming to put to do social media and really trying to take off of our wave and our buzz out there in the world. And I recently found, hold your breath, I found another Dean DeLisle, and I thought there was no other Dean DeLisle on this planet. And how arrogant of me to think about that. But there's a guy that's I think he's a machinist or a mechanic or something like that up in Michigan. But there's another Dean DeLisle out there. So you just don't know. But had I not been paying attention to my brand, I would have never caught these things. So I think that's another missing thing is where you want to, scan at least once a month at the first of the month, just put scan my brand or check out Google and just Google your name along with the industry. And it's a huge best practice. And we do listening for our clients and our influencers, but make sure. Yeah, and Edith says you have an unusual name. So just when you think, and another way to search for yourself too is to make sure that you search your name and your industry. So if you're in mortgage or whatever, make sure you search that. Now, when we get into the target, the demographics here in the category, we want to understand who the audience is. And we could spend all day, the entire session, just talking about the target and the audience. And when we do an intake, we do some digging on this. We have like beauty, fashion, we have technology, gadgets, business, but who's your audience? And like Jackson said, you want to make sure that you're actually speaking directly to that target and that audience. Now, is it just a type of person that you're really going for, or is there really an age group that you're going for? Like, is it a certain generation that you're speaking to? And then also, is it local? Is it national? Is it international? So you really need to think about who the target is. So anything you guys want to add on this
Yeah,
targeting subject?
yeah. In addition to what Dean said, one of the big things and one of the things that helps me out when I'm looking at different types of content and things like that is following hashtags for the certain categories. So let's say you want to cater to beauty and fashion. I would follow the hashtags for beauty and then a hashtag for fashion, and it'll show you top trending posts from that hashtag and from that category. So you can stay in tune with that, with what's trending, and kind of stay on top of that and comment on it and make sure you're adding to other people's content as well as your own, engaging with those other people. Not liking as well as commenting. Commenting's the big thing that adds, it puts your name out there and really it shows that you know what you're talking about on the subject.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's a good point. I follow hashtags on influencers because I want to see what other influencers are doing. So I want to pay attention, not just so that I can maybe speak to that audience, but I can get ideas from other people. And if you're just starting out, I think that's one of the best things too, is to make sure that you monitor those channels via hashtags. And again, you can have hashtags by demographics on audience, race, ages, nationality, whatever you want. So,
And to piggyback off of that, you know, if it's more of a local page that you're posting more things about, let's say you're based out of Chicago, like we are, I follow the Chicago hashtag. It keeps you up to date on the things that are happening in Chicago, different events, different, you know, things that are happening, current events. Keeps you real up to date, and I definitely recommend doing that for whatever city you're living in or working out of.
Yeah, good call. So next we get into the story. So, you know, the story of it all, right? So when we look at how to tell the story, just some of the key things. Now, last week we had a flash class on how to tell your story. So if you go to the flash classes, you can see previous episodes and make sure you dig into that. And when we get into, you know, tapping into your emotions or how did you get started, you know, Trav even talked about this yesterday on the show and said, listen, people, you need to be telling your story all the time, each and every day. You know, when you think about the fact that people make that emotional connection to you, they want to know that you're all in on your brand. In fact, the ones that we see fail, and we have people that come in and we help them out and we coach them on what to do. And like Monica says, they do a brilliant social media map. I mean, I almost should show one of these at some point of these maps up on the screen, but it tells you day by day, almost hour by hour, depending on how you're going to show up and what bandwidth you have, what to do. But this is a true investment of your time in your brand, in you, that says you're going to log in an hour a day, 2 hours a day, and work on your brand. And there's specific things that you need to do. But one of the most important things to start is really get your emotion and your heart in your story. So think about that for you. You know, when I asked, is your story ready for prime time? Are you all in and putting everything, you know, that is the juicy nuggets about what makes you different, what makes you you? Are you all in, and is that told in your story? And I think, you know, I wrote this in my book, but I think, you know, we found that over 90% of the people that we interview, Monica, something like that, come in and they tell us, no, don't put that in there. And we're like, but that's the most coolest, important thing about you. That's what says everything about you.
Being real and just being human, that's what people connect to. And you don't want to be superficial. You want to let people know and be able to really connect with you. And that's how you'll be able to really build your brand.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, and the authentic piece. Yeah. And I notice I have a typo in there. It's I think it's supposed to be consistent, right? So
yeah, I saw that too. I didn't want to call it out.
Sorry, I didn't give it to you guys ahead of time. That was late last night when I was like pulling slides from different workshops. But be consistent. So it's like that intentionally misspelled sign, although this wasn't intentional. But I think that was the other thing that, and I was actually listening to a podcast this morning. This might be you know, a little bit beyond, you know, some age groups, and I'm going to talk about this here. But in terms of, you know, the people that sort of have started business, there are folks out there that just have, you know, treaded ahead of us, and the people that have really done the what they call the unicorn, the billion-dollar company, literally have been the most consistent, the most authentic, and they tell their story over and over and over again. And at the very least, it's to refine it, it's to hone it in. And this gentleman I was listening to this morning, if, you know, even when he got his company to the point where he was making money and it was funded, he still went out and pitched his company so he could just keep making it better each and every day. And I think that's what a lot of us forget to do. We think there's this on and off switch, but you know what? The people that are always on are the ones you hear about and the ones you see, the ones at that next level. And then we want to transfer it to the bio, which is always the $1,000,000 question. I have a limited amount of space. What do I put in my bio? How do I make myself look good? And then what's interesting, we don't want to spend the whole time on the bio because we have some cool other really key nuggets to get to here. You can use you know, you can use all kinds of different emojis in there. You can use all kinds of different symbols and really links and things like that. But Monica, any quick key tips on really once you get the story down, how do you crunch it down to your bio?
So, I mean, your bio is your prime real estate. I always say that to all our clients. And one thing I recently have been adding, especially if you're planning an event or hosting an event, add that link onto your bio. You know, the more information, the better. Using emojis as well is great. Just make sure it's consistent across all channels.
Yeah, that's excellent. And here, you know, we have Elizabeth Ryu, who we've done some campaigns with, and it's really important to make sure, you know, she represent, you know, Hoka swimwear, but you'll see it's even on her Halanis profile down here. It's on her Instagram. It's up here. She lets people know, and it's very consistent what she's about. Even up here on her Instagram when she's with her little doggy. What is that? That's a pug or something, isn't it?
Oh, that is a pug.
But what she does is she swaps that out, her profile pic, and so she'll go through different campaigns, but she lets you know that she loves that dog, you know, she lets you know. And so that gives her that humanized mix. So she's very consistent really in getting these down, but you always know she it drives back to that swimwear. And the same with Paris Hilton. And what's interesting is these are the ones that we notice and we see, but we don't obviously understand what it took for them to get there. So one of the key things that has never gone away and never changed is the good old hashtagging strategy. So I know that this has changed, and we've taken different positions on this as we look at the algorithms and what works and what doesn't work. But really on the Instagram side of things, do you guys want to chime in sort of on what you're seeing that's working or not working on hashtags? Okay, you don't
Yeah,
have to.
no, I can.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
see that a lot of times when people hashtag within the content of their posts, so like you know, great day in hashtag Chicago, love being in hashtag Windy City, like I feel like those get way less engagement on them because it breaks up the reading. It doesn't look as clean. But the people that'll, you know, post their hashtags, they're relevant, and you just want to stress that they're relevant hashtags towards the bottom after they've posted, you know, love being in Chicago, great to be in the Windy City, always love it. And then, you know, hit enter a couple times and then throw in your hashtags, because it doesn't necessarily, you don't want people to, the people don't need to see that you put that hashtag in there. It just needs to pick up in the algorithm. And
I
I feel
agree.
like,
I agree
yeah,
with that. Yeah, and I get caught up in that too in terms of when I'm posting of putting hashtags in my sentences because I almost feel like, oh, you know, I want, you know, I get pulled back and forth, but I have noticed that I get less readability if I put too many, you know, like my goal is in my top sentences, I maybe put one, maybe two at the most, but everything else goes underneath.
yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that it definitely breaks it up in your mind. There's just something that it reads it differently and it doesn't look as clean,
Right.
at least for me. And it completely, you know, tends to affect the engagement that I see on posts with that. So,
Yeah, and one of the other things, somebody else was just chiming in on some questions here, but in terms of cross-platform, you know, we talk about cross-platform change formats. Now that LinkedIn has allowed hashtags and Facebook still doesn't have hashtags, they save it all for Instagram, but Twitter always has hashtags, is putting them at the end allows people to actually come in and read your content clean and really, you know, get the attraction of people coming in. But you also And again, we could talk for a whole hour on hashtags, but there's a whole theory of balance here where you have like brand hashtags that are really true to your brand, and some of them only, you want to be a thought leader and create that. So Influence Factory and Social Jack, those hashtags didn't exist until we put them out there, but we had to pair them with events that we were doing and trends that were happening, and we had to blend those hashtags together. The other big thing is to make sure that you don't pick every hashtag that has like 20 million followers, because the odds are you're never going to get heard in that group, and you're not going to get picked up. It's okay to mix them, but don't always just pick the ones with the most. Pick the ones, like Jackson said, that are the most relevant. So super cool. So any questions on hashtags before we move on to the next piece here? All right, good stuff. You guys always have questions on hashtags. That good of a job. Highlights. So highlights are interesting, right? So Monica, you want to just give a few cues on creating highlights?
So yeah, of course. So highlights are also, it just makes your Instagram page look a lot better, and just it allows your audience to really just get to know you. And we like to do that for a lot of our accounts as well, put together different categories. As you can see for Social Jack, we've categorized it by events, podcasts, networking, and the team. Those are, our top things that we really identify with, and and it just allows your audience to kind of skim through and really get to know you. And I highly recommend it. And it just really allows you to feature your story in a different way.
Yeah, how many people out there are using highlights right now on their accounts? I'm just sort of curious, because it was interesting when I was scanning last night again, I noticed a lot of folks still hadn't put highlights out there. So I want to make sure people understand the function. So all highlights are really just, let's say, like on the podcast, anything that we do related to our podcast, if you were to click on that, all it's going to do is it allows you to categorize and take all the posts that are down below and put those under that podcast highlights. So it's like your highlight reel. So, anything to do with the events that we do, anything to do with networking, anything to do with our team, we post into those highlights. Movie trailer theory. So the movie trailer theory is something that's been around for a long time, but great question. So Edith, with the movie trailer theory, think about the fact that, a lot of times you would never go watch a movie unless you look at the movie trailer. So when I'm going to think about a movie, the first thing I do is I watch the trailer, or I'll go to IMDb and then I'll look at, who's in it, and, and I'll read reviews and things like that. But, that before IMDb, we all went to the movie trailer. And doesn't everybody watch a movie trailer before they go see a movie, even if they've heard it's a great movie and everything else? So the movie trailer theory means that people want to, sometimes when they're thinking about engaging with you, before they see and scroll through the whole thing and make judgments, they're going to be like, oh, these people are about events. Oh, these people are about podcasts. Oh, they're really about putting people together with networking events. And they have a team. So those are the things we want you to know about us. At that new level. So that's the movie trailer theory in the simplest form, if you will. Yeah. And Edith says the Marvel Avengers series. Yes, she knows how to play to my heart. I just saw that new Spider-Man last night. That's a good one too. Okay, as we digress. But you notice here, like on realtor.com, they have kitchen, exteriors, home, house to home, interiors, inspiration and tips, bathrooms, they've broken it up so that you can just go to the images and the pieces of their Instagram that really are the most important, if you will. So hopefully that makes sense. Everybody good on highlights? All right, it's a way for you to categorize the multiple things that you're expressing. Now, Stories. So this is funny. So there are 500 million active daily Instagram stories, right? So if you think about that, that's a lot. That's a lot of
That's pretty
stories.
high up there.
Yeah, I know. 70% of Instagram users watch stories daily. So our strategy, when Monica and the team put together a map, stories are always part of that. We beg, we plead, we go above and beyond to do whatever we can to gather, and I'm sure the team is listening behind you shaking their head, but to do whatever we can to help you build a story. So the stats are in, it's important. And so what's cool about that, and I think our team does a rockin' kick-ass job on stories. But things like when, if you look to the right here, you'll notice that, we have the scrolling stories. I don't even know how you guys do that. That's just pretty dope.
Shout out to Emily.
Yeah, Emily, there you go. But they're scrolling stories. So if you look at our stories, they are literally just scrolling and they're putting messages on the screen and there's hashtags in there and we get high engagement. So, it's a cool thing that you can take and people just want to know what you're doing. This is how you get the sort of the stickiness of people coming up. And don't do stories always the same way, mix them up. They've given you so many cool tools with emojis and stickers and I know Monica, you love the polling questions, right?
They build so much engagement. They really do. We do it at least once a week for each of our clients.
Yes, Lynn, I think you might be an automatic winner. You're the first one today to ask what UGC is. Jackson, just automatically make Lynn a winner. So UGC is user generated content. That's a huge marketing term. That means that you are generating the content. Now, another thing, in case maybe you're just starting out, is to also share other people's stories and other people's things and turn them into a story, but also give them credit for it, right? So you're tagging them in there. I just want to shout out and thank Lynn for coming up with this great post or this great image or this great picture of whatever, or this great video. And then I can take whatever you have. Jackson has a show coming up. So I've been taking his team, they've been doing videos and other cool stories about their show coming up. I have been taking that and making that part of my story too. So you see how that works. And so Lynn, does that make sense? User generated content. So that means there's no stock photo, there's nothing, but somebody has generated. So on the far right, this content is all user generated. These are live tweets. Just like we're live tweeting this webcast right now, if you follow us on Twitter, you don't even have to attend the whole webcast sometimes to get the nuggets, but the team is behind the scenes actually tweeting out the things that we're saying that they feel that's important for you to learn, right? And that's user generated. Somebody on our team is doing that in real time in the moment. And then what they do is they then take that and they put it over on Instagram, and we have cross-platform storytelling going on. So that is like the biggest part. But anything you want to add to that, Monica? Because you guys do these all the time.
Even if it's not a video, it's you could use past images and repurpose your content through a story. It really dominates. It's really been dominating social media, and it's important, especially if you're really trying to build your brand.
Right. Yeah, super cool, super cool. So, and then what is your theory on like mixing in sounds and music and things like that? And then we're going to announce our winners here in a few minutes. So stay tuned, folks.
I'm really into adding music. I think it's funny depending on the video you're taking. It definitely adds humor depending on how you're positioning the story. Adding, like you said, different emoji, stickers, tagging is super important because you're getting on someone else's channels and reaching their audiences. But overall, at the end of the day, make sure you stay authentic.
Yeah, and the other thing is Jackson, I think you had a post the other night, and it was about you doing one of your shows or something. And here's just so when you're posting with music, you can actually have it just gives you a piece or a nugget, but it also gives you the lyrics.
Oh
So it
yeah.
actually puts the lyrics on the screen. And I thought you were actually putting your story, and those were your, I didn't have the sound turned up, and it was like how hard it is to be you know, I don't know what the song was, but the
It was
words were like perfect. It sounded like you were saying the words in the story, you know.
It was This Is How We Do It, and it
Yes.
fit perfectly because I was like looking for the perfect song because someone else in my group had posted one with the song Congratulations, because we had, they were advertising our show all through the Second City building. So we
Right.
were like all taking pictures and trying to make them a little different so people that follow us wouldn't see the exact same post everywhere. So I put This Is How We Do It, and it was perfect because it starts off like this is how we do it. It's Friday night, and our shows are on Friday night. So it was like it just timed out perfectly, worked perfectly, and then yeah, put the lyrics in there, and it plays the music and shows the lyrics as it goes, and it's like so cool the way it fits in there. And then if you can like make it look good at the same time while you do it, it's just like looking clean. It really works great. I see a lot of engagement on them.
Yeah, that's awesome. It caught me. It was really good because it caught me in the moment, and it caused me actually to go back, go back, go back. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to turn the sound on. And then I realized it was a song, and I was like, wow, Jackson's really got some groove going on this story. I thought those were your words, and I was like thinking to myself, he should be a songwriter, but it was somebody else's song. But anyway,
Yeah, to actually link back to one of the previous slides, it's actually still on my Instagram profile. If you follow me at Jackson DeLisle, it is in my highlights under Second City.
oh, there you
So
go. Yeah, so you can see a good example of that. So. And that's just super cool. So real quick, we have never done this before, but let's see. We're going to see who would like to have a complimentary one-on-one Instagram coaching session. Monica's like, what are you doing? I
That
know.
was my part of the agenda.
I know it's not even on there, right? So you're like, what? So so we're getting some yeses in here. So we'll pick a few of you. I don't know if we can take everybody, but let's just see where it goes here. Uh, Danny might win. Danny said shit yeah. So there you go. So it's like so there you go. So if you want to put your phone number in there so we have a way to get a hold of you, and you have to respond to us when we call you or email you. That's how you're going to win. So we'll start with the people that put it in first, and then we'll work our way down to as many as we can afford to do. So we'll give you a free coaching session on that. So let's keep going. So yeah, a bunch of people are, I would say, people are digging that. We never done that before. I was like, I just made it up too. It was like, who doesn't want somebody to talk to help them to the next steps of engagement, right? So we're gonna get to our winners here in just a minute, but just a couple of quick things. So remember to go to socialjack.com, click on the members login. Right, so the members login, and Jennifer, make sure you put your number in there too, just so that they have a way to get a hold of you. So the member login, right? So go there, even if you are not a member, and it's really low cost to be a member. What is it, Jackson? Like 10, 12, 15 bucks a month or
it's
something?
like, yeah, 15.
But you get unlimited coaching access when you become a member. So there's just a queue right there. But you go to member login, and if you're not a member, there's all kinds of cool stuff we give you. Okay. So you can choose how you want to come in there. And then we have, if you do take any type of package with us, like let's say you do our 90-day program, our success program for business influencer, and we help you either coach you through being an influencer, or we do it for you, or both, you automatically get 1 year access, membership access to all the classes and it's multi-platform. So if you want to learn about Facebook, you want to learn about Instagram, you want to learn about LinkedIn, it's all in there. Okay. And the cost, it varies on the program, Donna, but we can talk about that offline. But when we contact you for the coaching session, just we'll break that down for you. So all good stuff. So now, real quick, we have only a couple seats left to our LinkedIn Sales Accelerator. And if you use the code today and you go to socialjacksales.com, those of you that want more business on LinkedIn, this is guaranteed appointments, guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get us. So if you get one close out of this class, right? It's two 2-hour sessions live, and then you get access to it. It's $100 if you use the code today before the early bird ends. So use the code today, and you're going to get new business. Like it's like if you can close business, and we just have to get you the referrals or the meetings. If you got 20 referrals out of this, could you close one? If the answer is yes, and the business is worth more than $100, you need to do it. Go to socialjacksales.com, click on today. So real quick, I'm going to put a polling question up here. What else do you need? Now we're going to, Jackson, you got the 2 winners? Because I think we've got actually.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, well, we announced one already, right? Didn't I say Lynn was an automatic, right?
Yeah, but she was also one of our engagement winners.
Oh, wow. Okay. So then, well, let's give away 2 more. I'm giving away 3 today, and coaching sessions. Monica's like, what? I thought we were supposed to be profitable. Okay. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. You can yell at me. So here's a quick poll going up. What else do you need? Are you interested in the 90-day influencer program? You interested in training and coaching, right, for yourself or your organization? And pick whatever makes the most sense to you. I think you can pick multiple in here. Social media and content creation, digital advertising. So you pick and choose. So while we're doing that, we're putting together a couple of assignments that we'll give you to take off with here, and you can rock this stuff out. And then looks like a bunch of you want even website and landing page work. That's good. 90-day influencer stuff. And remember, when we reach out, right? A lot of you put your phone numbers in here. Yes, we will share the slides and the recording. Jackson, where do they go to get all the slides and recording to Social Jack?
Yes, it will be in the resource center at app.socialjack.com in the next few hours after we end this.
Yeah, so if you just, well, if they just click on that member login, right, it takes them automatically there at
socialjack.com. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So then you just go there and you'll see the previous how to tell your story and some of the other ones, plus access to the slides, Alyssa. So there you have it. Remember, make sure you put your phone number into the questions area so you can actually do this. Okay, before we announce our couple extra winners here, Lynn, are you excited that you already won? I would be. I never win stuff. So now we have fix your profiles, right? Be relevant, be focused. So take away from here and really build your story, right? And so the other thing, we want you to be intentional and own yourself. And when you're writing your story, write for the wastebasket as if no one's ever going to read it, because that's when your true self comes out, right? And then find somebody to buddy with. If you don't choose us, you don't choose us to help do the stuff for you, find someone out there that you trust that will be all in with you. In fact, we have a whole piece, or chapter 3 on my book is about a social team. Make sure you are invested in yourself and that team so that you can work together to really take it to that next level. So all right, Jackson, who's our 2 extra winners?
So we already know Lynn, and then Jennifer Knoll and Danny Vogel.
Again?
Jennifer Knoll and Danny Vogel.
Oh, look at that. And then also Lynn, right? So 3.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now here's the rule. I'm going to email you these Starbucks gift cards. And then what we want you to do is we want you to take someone to coffee and teach them what you learned. Do you promise to do that? Actually, all of you should do that. You should share what you learned today, pass it on to somebody else. Share if whatever the littlest nugget was. Hey, you know what I learned today is on Instagram, you can have these highlights, and that's going to help you attract more people to your Instagram account. You know what I heard? Stories get 10 times more engagement than just a regular post. Did you know that? So just share that. Does everybody agree to share that with someone? I got it. Okay, there you go. I was waiting for you guys. All right, cool. All right, and yes, somebody asked if I know it shows PayPal when you go to checkout here for the Sales Accelerator, but when you register, you put in the promo code. Look at this today. Boom. Whoops, I guess I got to select how many tickets I want. All right, and I go to checkout. Right. Whoops. Jackson, check that promo code. I think it expired. Look at that. You guys used that promo code already? Jackson,
All
can you
right,
check
we
that?
will fix that
Yeah.
immediately.
So anyway, let's just clear this. So when you go to checkout, he's fixing it as we speak. Let's go to 1, checkout. Come on. Why is it glitching out, Jackson?
I am not sure, but it will be ready in like 2 minutes.
There we go. I think I just had to reset it. It was hung up on that promo code, but Jackson will fix the promo code. Okay, so all you do is you put your information in here, and when you get down to pay, it allows you to switch, let's see, Jackson, and then make sure it allows them to put the credit card in there.
Will do.
All right, so there you go, Donna, and we'll send out a link to everybody so you can do that. So, so remember, when you go to member login here, just do this real quick, and you scroll down, you'll get to humanize, see 5 key steps to tell your story. You'll see all these interviews, LinkedIn flash classes, and so you get access to all kinds of good stuff. All right, and so again, I want to congratulate our winners. Any other questions? Did everybody learn at least one new thing? Of course you did. Okay, look at that. You guys are rocking it. Okay, cool stuff. All right. Anything else, Monica?
I think that's pretty much it. Excited to go through this Instagram.
I know, yeah, and then you've got some coaching peeps coming in, so we'll talk to those folks and hopefully help them get to that next level. And for each and every one of you out there, I just want to, again, empower you to go teach what you learned today to somebody that you care about. Please, please, please teach it to someone else. And then if you need help beyond, what you've asked us for today, if you know someone that needs help, we always appreciate those referrals. So please send them our way. And we appreciate you all so much. And we create this content because you tell us what you need. So if you need something, say, please develop a class on this. And, we will. So we're here for you all the time, and we will see you online looking amazing. So, Monica, tell them bye.
Bye, everyone.
Jackson, tell them bye.
Bye.
All right. We appreciate you guys, and thank you, Monica and Jackson, for all your knowledge sharing, and thank you, everybody in the audience. And we'll see you online sparkling with your influence. Take care, everybody.